Hello and welcome back. Right, this is going to give off later. I have made my decision. There's a fine line between dithering and, let's put time up to ×5, between dithering and making a decision. So whilst we have this opportunity and it's raining, we are going to pop over to 12 and 13. I've looked and looked and looked, and I seriously think this is... I did have a look at this at the very beginning of this, and there's some really... I think also the other thing I've thought about is, obviously I'm used to normal economy. Wow, some big banks there. What I think I'm going to need to do is, you don't really have to do the edges of the fields on normal economy because you make money easy enough. This is not easy, that I do realise, truly isn't easy. So what I'm going to do is... Wow, how far does that go back? Okay, this is definitely the edge. Sometimes you've got to work that little bit harder. I think I'm going to have to do the edges of the field because even 3 or 4 bales will make a difference. So yes, I don't like how hilly these are, but to be honest, the bales are all going to roll. It's a bit bowl shaped, so all the bales are going to roll nicely down into that bit at the bottom, and that's all that really matters. In fact, I suppose you could look at it another way. It actually aids the baling up of them. It's going to be easy. They're all going on this top field. They're going to sit on that wall there. And let's just look on the map itself, though. Just trying to deliberate between costs. I'm not sure 12 and 13. When you consider the bowl shapes of the edges, you've got to take a rim around from those two. Let's have a look at 29. You see, looking at the nice square shape on 29 and imagining without the line in the middle and the line all the way around, I think 29, opposite us, is better. I know it's nowhere near as big as that, truly. It's not good on that either, is it? 15's definitely smaller, but is also costs less. So I'm not sure. So far I'm plumbing for 29 and 15. I don't mean we can't afford them both now, but yeah, which is the cheapest. I'm just thinking of leaving ourselves a little tiny bit of money aside. I think we're going to go for 15 this time, and we'll go for 29 next time. But oh yeah, because that's 110 actually. Yes, of the two, although smaller, that is definitely quite a bit more. There's an awful lot of loam on that. In fact, it's only offset by a little bit of silty clay, whereas that one is nearly all silty clay, which does seriously reduce the yield. So hence the fact that I think we'll get as much off that smaller field as we will off 29 for the fact that it's a much better quality of soil. So there we go. I've even argued with myself. So then, let's buy that and get the equipment onto field 15, and we've still got some money left. Yes, committed. Right, we've still got 71,000. So, to be honest, we're not far off buying the other field as well. There's a very careful. This is something I've worked out through playing this with using this particular aspect. Obviously I've realised, even just doing that one field, how this is a completely different ball game to what I'm used to. There will not be the expansion that I'm used to, that I have been used to on other Let's Plays when playing under normal economy. There is not the growth. Literally, if I hadn't have had that 100,000 left already that was sticking around 90 to 105, literally we would not have been able to buy one of these fields. So the second field, really, that 70 odd grand that's left is the profit we've earned so far, which in itself is not enough to buy a field. So we've got 95, another 20 something thousand, and we can afford that second field or third field. So let's get all of our equipment, because this is saying, the weather's saying that this is going to end at some point soon. So let's go and grab the equipment. It's on 5 times speed. I've got that back up. Let's go and grab the mowers, and I can come back for the baler. I can grab the baler with the truck. Listen, this is literally down that road as we discovered yesterday, doing our wandering around. It's a lovely map to actually go wandering around, to be honest. Let's go and get the... now then, I'm wondering, I think front mower first. Otherwise I don't think it'll have the weight to support the back, because that back mower is heavy. Now then, let's go back in the way we were. And let's get that. Let's see how well this manages to go without it wandering. A little bit light, so not as light as I have seen this. I was bailing on the last Let's Play with this, and I tell you the truth, boy did it float. Right, let's get this and follow me. I don't want much of that, so then. Skipping a little, whoa, but it is settling down. This is enough for anything when you were... yeah, it's bouncing a little more than I would like, but this definitely is definitely better suited to this than it is bailing. We had so many accidents with this bailing, and that would mean we were running forever to get the... oh, is that coming? Yeah, we were literally forever. I think I was just getting stuck into something when I needed to go and get the... it was the Volvo. We had the Volvo on the last Let's Play, and we literally had to keep pushing it over by its wheels because it kept falling over. Oh, he's got lost. What is this about? Why are you getting lost? Or are you just going very slow? No, it looks like it's stuck, doesn't it? I must have missed the message. Oh no. Must be just speed. Yeah, stuck on 6. That's the one thing I hate about it. It remembers the last job. Right, now then, whoa. Calm down, Gordon Bennett. Right, I'm sure I remember the field entrances around this corner. Right, past the castle. Yeah, we are on the left here. Right. What we'll do is we'll get onto the edge. Let's stop that one. Let's get into the actual field. I don't want to be stuck on the road. That wouldn't not be real. Right, we're not going to do the course, but we can actually get the course ready so we can just say go. Right, so field 15. It's again hilly. I'm not sure about the bales on this one. That's the only thing I never gave any much thought. I have a nasty feeling these are going to roll down into the road itself, so they could go anywhere. That is definitely not my best moment. Now then, 8.4, I think. It said 9.1 last time it did this, but I don't think that's right. Although, to be honest, it didn't leave any ridges, did it? So on paper it says it's an 8.4, so that's what I'm going to go with. Headland, no, it's just narrow. Couple. 9% overlap. Go. Yeah, I think that'll be alright, we shall see. Save 15. Mowing. Right. Right. Rain stops play. Let's speed up time a little bit. We're not going to go too mad though. I'm going to stick this at 120. I always have something that's crossed my mind a few times is sometimes when you run the speedy bits, I do seriously wonder if somehow it speeds past the growth cycles, you know, as in like that it doesn't ever catch up. Because there was one time on the, I think I mentioned it yesterday, when we missed all cuts in spring on the second year, and that is just unheard of. It was just like some bizarre circumstance had stopped, and there were a few times through that season that we'd sped time up to the point where it was going to 2000 quite a lot. So I seriously wonder whether it is sometimes you miss the growth cycles. I don't know, it could be some sort of aberration, but there's certainly some reason why. Let's have a look at when the next, have we got any more rain coming? Oh, according to this, 3 o'clock today. That still looks very cloudy, doesn't it? I daren't risk it. We know what it's like with the... Let's see if this clears and we'll slow time down. It looks very unsettled, those clouds, using farming simulator terms. It seems to be coming in more than it's going out. That's typical. Great demand at the slurry yard. If only I'd... Oh, yes. Yes. I did wonder. That's a funny 3:30. Let's watch this from inside the Argotron. It is slightly more realistic. I don't seriously think anyone would stand out there for hours pacing. I can quite believe farmers would wait for the rain to pass, definitely, but it's just quickly, while we've got a minute or so, have a look at the actual growth cycles. Let's remember to take the grass off. And yeah, still unharvested. Days later, it should be growing. This is in the first yellow stage. Wow, I can't believe that. You would have thought, had that been left from the very beginning, that would be the deep orange by now, but hey ho, it's still harvestable. According to this is going to give up. Right, let's have another look though. I am not trusting to today. According to that, which we know is so very reliable, having seen this at first-hand evidence yesterday. Right, let's go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, come on. Really? You think it's adequate to drive through the... I don't know. Let's set you going. 15... Knowing. First waypoint. Well, yeah, this is what I'm saying. When you actually look at the edges of the field, I think this is going to require quite a bit more work than I'm used to make this go. I've got to work at this a lot harder to actually make ends meet than I ever would before, which is going to require more effort. It's I did feel it a bit yesterday. All those edge bits there, truthfully. Look at all that wasted grass, and around the other one as well. I think we are going to have to truly maximise all of our fields still looks like rain. Well, at least he's going straight after him, so hopefully that shouldn't be too... Right, let's go and get the truck. We can at least make ourselves useful. This is one time when you seriously miss tabbing in your own Let's Plays. And definitely when you miss running at 3 times speed. No, I like this. It's more realistic. It's very different. I can't deny that. But to be honest, it's like anything. If you've had a loose rule and then someone gives you a firmer rule, it does take a bit of getting used to. You sort of think, no. But to be honest, it's like anything. It's like this Let's Play. Yesterday when I started this, I thought, are you serious? You really going to carry on with this? And I thought, yeah. Oh, well, let's give this a wash. Just look at that. Before we do anything else, it's not going to hurt a few minutes washing this. That is absolutely disgusting. No, that looks very strange. Of course it would do. This is because it's the third person. You wouldn't normally see that look, would you? Obviously it's a decent mod, but like any mod, it's not obviously perfected because there's too many variables that are outside of the control of the creator. That's looking a lot better. I hope that back window was absolutely ditched. That's better. Much better. Right, oh, actually I want to reverse and get that. Oh, I do, but I want to be reversing at the front, not at the back. Let's get that. Nope, let's try that again. In fact, yeah, that is a good idea. Let's go past it. And then back again. Wasn't a very good angle. Now then, let's just have a quick look. I'm not going to faff around. Transporting round bale stack off. Got my course plane marker stuck on this field. I don't know. I love these little tracks. Absolutely amazing. It's a beautiful map. I love. So quaint and very English. Literally could sort of transport me to certain places in Great Britain, especially these little bridges, the little stone bridges. Now let's see if any have rolled onto the road yet, because I have a sneaky feeling that is going to happen. Definitely could have been worse. So this is the 6th day of spring, late spring we are on now. So that means 02 of... Oh, there are still gaps in the middle. I wonder if that is because I have actually gone to whether I should try 8.1s. Mind you, no, there were gaps in the first one. And they weren't in between, they're more like in between where the blades would be, so... You know, where the front mower is. Where is the... Where is... Oh, it's there. I'd lost the mower then. Yes, I think when we're finished, we'll run this all the way around the edge once, because that's a broad piece of grass, and then we'll run the same with the baler as well. Finish this field off. Can't be affording to be losing even 2 or 3 bales, and on the bigger field again I would imagine you're going to get 3 or 4 bales on the edge of that one. Let's go and have a look. Let's go and look at the top of the hill. Oh, okay. Whereabouts are you? Oh yeah, there's definitely lots up there. Oh right, that's typical. I'm at the very furthest point away from you that could possibly exist. Right, let's get this mower. Let's go around the edges. One thing I did explain on my last Let's Play is how I love Courseplay. It is absolutely an amazing mod, but I have the ultimate respect for it. It truly has one. If you ignore the message that the work has finished, do so at your peril, because that will rock your game and literally stop it in its tracks. So I have the utmost, having lost hours and hours worth of Let's Play time. Wow, that's quite good. It actually, of course it does. It puts the window in the middle. That's really useful. I know it is, and I know, but sometimes when you the amount of times I use Courseplay and actually don't do this myself, I might need to use the big Argotron with this hill. The one thing I didn't take into consideration, reading the map. Oh, I've not done the field sensor, have I? Not that it matters, because obviously we didn't. This was a bought field as it was, so we couldn't have altered the grass obviously this time, but we can next time. So oh wow, look at that hill. Now that grass is interesting. We're still managing it though. Definitely too good to waste all that. Yes, I can see I'm going to have to definitely learn to use my resources better on a hard economy. Be careful not to get too close. Some of these tree branches may well drag me in. They're not very forgiving. So far, none of them have been too nasty. Right. Let's go grab you. Thank you very much for your assistance, young man. I am going to take over for 10 minutes. Let's just stop the engine here. Oh, in fact, let's just move it on a little, otherwise we're going to truly get in the way. Let's see if we can just stick it against there. We might just be able to sneak out. Whoops. Yes, I won't mention how realistic that is. Right, let's put that down. Let's go into one thing when I really do need to see what I'm doing. Right, we shall see how much attention I pay to bailing. See if I can be on the ball to stop in and again, I know this is another thing that people hate round bailers for, but it's like anything, it's just part of the pattern that you get with the round bailers. You get the beeping and sort of eventually get used to it. I think all things considered, if I'm totally honest, as much as I'll get flamed for this, all things considered, I truly think round bailers, they're not as good at stacking. They obviously roll, there's no arguing with that, but even taking that into consideration, I still think round bailers are better. And I must admit, apparently for those who know these things, a square bale cannot, even stacked as dense and all the rest of it as it is, cannot survive like a round bale can, apparently. If you have a stack of round bales and you take the top layer of a round bale off, that can survive and it won't, whereas a proper square bale won't. Apparently they do rot, or I forget the Frithgar, who is a proper farmer who actually has done farming, has done studies on this, and he was mentioned at great length one time about the round bales versus the square bales. I think he prefers the square bales, but even he had to admit that a lot of round bales are actually coming back in because they can last, whereas the square bales, they don't last the same. All things considered. Obviously I know there's definitely much harder to stack, and I would imagine, as almost with all arguments, that it's usually that argument that wins in most things, which is easiness, ease of use. Ease of use goes a long way to It's a little bit why desktops won over towers won over desktops. I always thought desktops were the best design between the two designs, and yet for some reason they were compact. You could put your monitors on them, but they were a nightmare for engineers to work with. So guess what? They died. I mean, you can still get them now, and some people still work on them, but they are not as popular as towers. Towers have almost completely taken over from them again because they were more popular. They were easy to work on, and also a lot of people build their own PCs. So again, that ease of use becomes very important for those people who are building themselves. Even if you're an expert, an IT engineer able to build a PC yourself, if you're Joe Bloggs on the street and it's the first time you've ever built one, do you really want to be trying one of the hardest models ever designed to cut your teeth on? Or would you just like to open a tower up, which you can go on YouTube and find out how to do that? I mean, don't get me wrong, you can find it a thing on YouTube for doing the things, but would you like to cut your teeth on a difficult thing first, or would you like to learn on an easier one? So again, I simplicity and ease of use took over. How many bales did we get actually by the 1, 2, 3 with this one? That's not bad. You certainly can't complain at rolling around the field to get 3 bales, or almost 3. I don't know that I'm going to get 3 out of this. Something went wrong then. It was not picking any more grass up from 94%, no matter what I did. Unless the amounts were so tiny that it didn't register as enough litres. Let's try and see if we can find a little bit. There's some just at the beginning of the field. Maybe just about finish this bale if we're fortunate. Oh, 1%. Can see a tiny bit more. Are we going to be lucky, or is this going to be next time? Okay, next time it is then. It's not bad though. I'm still happy with that. That's 3 full bales and almost a full. So for going around the edge of the field, it was definitely well worth it. Definitely, 100%. So then let's go and let's switch the engine off a minute. Right, so now we need to go grab the crop sensor. Let's just grab these last few bales up. Obviously we know this is not fertilised or anything, this is what it is. So I'm not expecting, but when you consider we got 3 bales for going around the edge of the field, in fact nearly 4, I don't count that as wasted effort. That was brilliant. Definitely well worth doing. Let's go around the edge first and then we'll collect the rest up. And I wasn't expecting anything like the 30 something that we had of the field that we fertilised, obviously, but as I said, I've known fields where I've picked 7 up before, and that is the limit of the field. So there's a big patch of grass there that I've missed. So we're 7, yeah, 7 with the and there's 1 that's almost in there, so there will be 12 bales when we're finally finished. Let's stick these all on, follow me, and we'll go back and we'll grab all the equipment for doing the crop sensor and everything. Let's get into you and hope that you don't go all over the place. Well, I'm pleased with that. As I said, I wasn't expecting on the first cut for you to be getting hundreds of bales. That is realistic. It's growth. That's all you can say. And this is definitely growth on a harder scale than I'm used to. But I've got to learn a new set of rules. Hard economy is definitely a harder taskmaster than I am used to. Let's try and drive well. Ooh. Keep forgetting about that. That's a much easier way to get in. Fantastic. Right, baler. Let's drop that off first. One thing I would like to do in winter is to see how much of this we can clear out. Let's just see how far that goes back to the hedge. I'm wondering if we can hire something like the tree devour, not literally, but something similar to that to get rid of some of these trees around the edge. I'm not talking about all of the way, but in certain places. Stuck you there. Let's get the others off. I've been followed. No, I'm not trying to. Whoa. Oh, really? Gordon Bennett, what a mess. Oh, the other's going to follow as well. Oh, thank goodness for that. You're not. Thank you very much for your assistance, young man. We no longer need this, so we need to take the back mower off first. For the weight. Move across so we can get back in when we finish without blocking the baler off. Now I would say that the Sammy, yeah, it's probably best to do this. Now then, it's this herbicide, I think, isn't it? One thing I'm going to say is, as expensive as normal fertilizer is, trouble is, it's the speed. Oh, imagine we're not in a rush. I've got to get out of that sort of way of thinking. When I've got a big farm on my last Let's Play, of course, you've got to run around like a mad thing to try to get the jobs in, but let's just switch that engine off a minute. Right. We'll get the Sammy on the field sensor, because that definitely needs doing. We'll get this on the limer, and we will come back for the fertilizer. We'll empty the lime out of this, and we'll get that sorted. Oh, wrong way, wrong end. Now we need to pull in quite a bit, because we're going to need to pull round with that beast. It's a little heavy, so we need to avoid everything. Right. So then we need to aim for that corner. I must remember that's there instead of going all the way around. Let's go and get the field sensor. Well, we've still done well. We're still 73,000 left, and we have managed to buy a field. So definitely, this has got wheel weight, so it should cope with that. Can have a good look around this field at later at different times, say, because I think oh, now then, where's the exit? Just there, I think. It's hard to see when you've got hedges everywhere. Yes, it is there. Yes, I think in certain places around the edge of this field there's a lot of wasted field due to the trees that we could sort of cut out. I'm not talking about cutting all the trees. I'm not a mad let's get rid of all trees person, but it's sometimes you've got to try and release some of the... Right, let's get Sammy out. And let's unfold that. We need to switch it on, it does not like. Right. 15. Oh, what am I doing? Course generation. 15. I don't know that it will get 2 out of it. It's not very wide. 1. Okay. 15. 20 meters. Go. Delete. Now again, you've got to make sure on this that it doesn't take your head off, or she doesn't take your head off. And secondly, also got to make sure that it's on. Most implements, of course, will switch on and off, rise up, make them lower, that type of thing. Plows. That thing it won't. It's a new implement, so it's got to be switched on, and it will just ride around the field with it. So it shouldn't take it long at all either. So 15. Course generation. Field 15. I would say this is a narrow field. Let's try narrow field. I'm not always pleased with a narrow field setting. It doesn't always. Yeah, I don't think there's much difference in when doing 1 or. Let's do 1 and see. I bet it's not much different. Yeah, almost identical. So not much in that. So let's go. We want drive field 15, 24 meters. Go. We might need to make you yield. Oh, yeah, we may definitely stop you a minute. 1, let her go. Now go. Yes, that was a bit of a. If that was real, I'll tell you this much, I was struggling to breathe now. Breathing that dust in, sprayed right in your face. Oh, I don't know. Good job it's a game. Oh, look at that red. Wow. Not long, nearly done. Let's get ready to. In fact, let's jump in. We may as well. Nearly finished. We've only got a tiny little touch left to do. Hang on a minute. I think you're going to get run over. Oh no, you're going in now, so you should get missed. Just. Brilliant. Excellent. Another job done. Right, while the Argotron is finishing, because he's got all that faffing around bit to do in the middle, we will go and get the. Oh, in fact, no, we will get the sprayer. It's not going to cost that much more. Of course, it's dearer. We all know that liquid fertilizer is dearer than. But it's sometimes. There does come a time when I've always said this about where it's you, the time as the farmer or the farm manager. Hint, hint. That's also equally important. So you've got to. It can't always be about cost, although. Especially when you think we're going to grab some of these bales from the outside of this field, because it has got some massive sections around the edge of it, this field. Massive sections. Seriously think we're going to get some bales out of this one. Right, we need to. Not really done this very well. Need to cast this out. And of course you're going to go on the field rather than the field edge, aren't you? I think you're also. What are you? You've got red or what? You have blue. Grand. I think there's about 400 if I remember rightly. 400. Oh no! Oh no! We filled it up, didn't we? Or did we? I think we did actually. Yeah. Brilliant. So that's not cost us anything because it's already cost us. I'm going to keep that on the front, the sensor, because it is a bit of weight. It's certainly not hurting on the front like that. So, oh no, but will it try? No, because it doesn't sense the crop sensor. So hopefully it's not going to try and unfurl it. Otherwise, I might regret that decision. But I'm almost sure it does treat the crop sensor almost as nothing. But we shall see. It isn't the first time I've been wrong, and it won't be the last. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now then, he shouldn't be too much longer. Let us. Course generation. 15. Hang on a minute, has he still got my... Yeah, no. 20 metres. Just remembering the last time we did this. Well, we know it's 17.2, so we'll do it manually. Good job, I know. 7.29. Let's try 1, that's not going to be far off. Yeah, that looks much better. Drive. 15 metres according to the book. Just let that young lady go, and we'll go and rescue the Argotron. How much? I bet you use nearly all of that, even a smaller field as it is. Not far off. Right, no point in running this back and then faffing around. We may as well wait for the sprayer as well. I'm just trying to think, is there any more jobs I can do there? No, I think that is it, truthfully. No, there isn't. You're right. That's listening to me Jiminy Cricket. We have got that baling, the mowing to do, although to be honest, by the time I've lugged over there, it might be just as much, to be more expedient to be patient, wait for this spray, which is not going to take long on this field. Yeah, and then what we'll do is we'll run over to the other field and we will cut the edge manually ourselves. To be honest, my timer's letting me know that I've got just under 3 minutes, so to be honest, I think the spraying this time will be the finish of this particular recording session. Let's just hope I don't get my head knocked off by that boom. Yeah, so we'll wow, don't know, I've travelled up the field when it's in between. Amazing for saying how that's just quite hilly. It's not a flat. Yes, it is a smaller field. I do definitely admit that. I think 12 and 13, definitely when you look at the map, are without a shadow of a doubt bigger than 15. But look, they're not. And when you consider there are still yellow bits in there. That's bizarre, that is. I've never seen... It is like it's leaving tiny bits of grass. That's not good for how well we're chopping. I'm going to have to try and muck around with the mower. I've never known this mower to... I've never seen that before in any other map. Any cuts where there's lots of little bits of yellow in between. Could be that it's set wrong. We might need to just have a quick look at the mower. Make sure that I'm actually get my measurements right. I'm sure it's an 8.4. I've got the measurement wrong. Yeah, 8.4. And I did cut this one to 8.4, and it's still leaving little tiny lines, which you can actually see. But it did that on the other one. It's not. You see, it's not leaving proper cuts in the middle. It's almost like it's missing tufts. So I don't know if that's ground, or you can sometimes get that it's a relatively new map. Is it something to do with the map itself? Something not quite worked out right? Oh, look at that. From red to green. Excellent. Brilliant. I certainly didn't miss much grass. Wow. Let's Yeah, it looks that bit there, around the edge at that section. I do think that may. No, it wasn't. That was on the field. And again, it's tufts rather than the entire line. So I don't get it. It definitely shows on the map though that it's still there. Let's get these back to the field then, and then next time we are going to manually cut the edge of field 14 because I think there's a lot of grass. Maybe as much as 7 or 8, maybe nearly the same as on. No, I think I'm getting a bit. I think I'm getting a bit carried away now. Probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 at a push, but I don't know about the same amount as on field 15. I can't quite see it being that impressive. That's my timer going off. I have to leave a timer because I'm a terror. I'll do an hour and a quarter session and an hour a session, and I'm just like to get the time down to a reasonable amount so that everybody knows where they are. It's most content creators are much better at that particular skill than me, so I'd like to get a bit better. Let's just get this off. Follow me. Thank you very much, young man, for your assistance. We'll leave that. I think that may well just about do us another field. Let's go and fill up the line. Goodness, lime isn't too expensive. That's the last job we're going to do for today. Right, so then, we've not missed anything. I've shown you everything. We have at O2 in summer, we will get. I'm hoping this is going to start to grow. It's getting me quite worried. This fact that it's still harvested state after well over 2 days. It's not changed any kind of state whatsoever. So I'm a bit shocked that we're not getting any change of state at all. But be that as it may, let's not worry too unduly. It is what it is. We've bought our second field. We've got a goodly amount towards a third field. We could say I'm tempted to go towards 29, if I'm honest. 11 and 12. That's just the bowl-shaped nature on that. That's the field I'm thinking of. 29. It's a nice shaped field, nice and square. It's just a bit silty, but we shall see. Right, anyway, without any further ado, thank you very much for continuing on this journey with me. Next time we'll get the edges of this cut, and then we shall see what we shall see, because we're not suddenly going to get enough money to buy that. Although this is one of those situations where I don't want to lurch into a full thing where loaning 20,000 to buy the third field to keep this. Let's just stop that engine. Is maybe not a bad proposition, because with all the bales we've still got, we're at least going to pay back the loan. We've still got enough lime that we've already bought to do any liming of that field. This field's already been limed and fertilised. That field's already been limed and fertilised. So we've propagated and done all work that we need to do on these fields. So that would leave, if we bought that and got a 20,000 loan to get that, I think it was 95, so it'd be 23 grand. If we borrowed 23,000, we've got the 12 bales on hand. The slurry and the digestate should just about clear that. So we'll have 3 fields and no money, but we'll also, in doing that, pay off the loan, but also have the bales off that field, which again I don't think they're not going to be the same as 14. I would imagine they're probably going to be pretty much the same as we've seen there, but we're also going to have the ones from around the edge here. I would say, looking at some of the thicknesses around this field, some are double thick, some of those edges are really, especially near those trees over there, are very, very thick. So truthfully, between the lot of them, I wouldn't be surprised if we haven't got well over 30 bales with that field, the 12 we've already got, and the ones around the edge here. So that again would clear enough to clear any debt and also give us back into quite healthy positive. And hopefully by the time we've done those 3 fields, this one will begin to pick up again in summer by the time we've done all that work. Also, the second field should begin to turn around as well. So yes, I think if we follow that cycle, I don't think we'll be doing too far off. So this may be one of those situations where next time, rather than twiddling our thumbs, we actually take out a loan and get that started. But we will first of all cut around the edge of this existing field to see what we've got, to see the 12 bales we've got plus however many we've got around here. Would that just about compensate us for the 20 odd thousand loan that we would get, based upon the fact that we'd also be getting quite a few bales out of that field? So hopefully I'm going to see you again to follow through on this journey with the Thornton farm. Just beginning to see a little bit of progress, and it is a little bit of progress, and it certainly is not what I'm used to. It certainly is very tight. There's no margin for error, or not great error anyway. So hopefully see you again, and thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.